Okay, before we get into episode 26, did want to let you know that I forgot to hit the button that takes out the background noise. So our voices sound a lot clearer, but there is some extra characters. So shout out Lady A for the ad-libs. And let's get into episode 26.
Welcome to the Other Dads podcast. Two first-time fathers trying not to screw this up.
Welcome back to episode 26 of the Other Dads podcast. We're glad you're here. We got a packed show tonight. We're recording on Veterans Day, and we are going to interview a veteran, my good friend John. We also have some ketchup from the week. Not ketchup you put on your burger, but we're going to catch up and segments, as always.
Are you a veteran if you're still active duty?
I asked him, and he said yes. I don't know. Because I think you're confusing Veterans Day with Memorial Day, which is, I think, people who...
Memorial is for those that have passed. So
yeah, exactly.
Not.
I don't know. I think active
duty. Veteran is for those who have served.
Yeah, but if you're active duty, that means you have served, no?
We're going to leave it to Military Dad to tell us.
So anyway, we got that's the show. We got a game to pick. Monday Night Football. A clash of two Titans. Dolphins, Rams.
Two teams having great years.
Yep. Tua's back, so this game is more interesting than it would have been.
And I won last week, which means I've got a chance here to not lose a bet.
And this game, actually, either team could win. So this one's not a coin toss.
This is a toss-up.
Yeah, this isn't just coin toss wins like last week.
Yep.
Which last week was closer than we didn't
Bucks,
really.
The Bucks had a good fight.
We didn't talk about that game much during the pod because we were entranced by Dr. Dom.
Dr. Dom.
Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. I got a lot out of it. It's really helped Lady A and I talk a lot about parenting more. But we got a good game. Let's go over to the coin flip, Josh.
Okay, ready?
Oh, I don't even know who I want.
I know who I want.
I'm going Rams at home.
Dang it. That hurts. As they're showing the graphic that the Dolphins are 4-13 in their last 17 Monday Night Football games.
Well, it just, you never know.
There's no way Tua gets hurt today, right?
Most definitely he will. I hope not, but it feels like he's going to. That's why I picked them, because the last time I saw Tua in primetime, he got that crazy concussion against the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Aaron Donald's here. I'm done. It's over.
Put on the pads.
Christian, what are you drinking?
I had to break my Miller High Life streak. I'm going with Solace Brewing, local DC brew. Just an IPA. I don't know what it's called, actually. Let's see. Sun's out, hops out.
Ooh, it looks like a can of ginger ale.
It does look like a Sprite. What about you?
I'm at my parents' house tonight, and I was just rummaging.
Got kicked out of the house.
Was rummaging through the garage fridge, and I don't know why they have this. I've never seen either of them drink it, so I'm assuming somewhere along the lines someone left one or something, and it was there. But I've got a Happy Dad seltzer.
Oh wow, never heard of that. Happy Dad.
Never heard of it either. Watermelon. Let's give it a go here.
You know, dads love watermelon drinks.
Smells watermelony.
Wonder how old that is. Probably been in the fridge for years.
Okay, I think I'm not sure if these go bad, but I think this one may have gone bad. But we're going to power through. That was like drinking a Sour Patch.
More like not Happy Dad.
Yep. Sour Dad seltzers.
All right. That's game. That's the brews. Let's get into the week. How was your week, Josh? You had a big weekend, actually.
It was a big weekend. We saw friends, loved ones, family. Yeah, both sides of the family went up to the old stomping grounds where you and I met. Me and Lady G met. The great place of Blacksburg, Virginia. Went up there for a little football game. We don't have to talk about the results. It was a beautiful day.
We were up at halftime.
And yeah, I tell you what, Christian, nothing makes you feel older faster than going back to college with a kid.
Oh, really? Tell me
Yeah,
more.
we were walking around campus today with my sister-in-law, who's a student there, just walking all over with all these college kids, and there we are pushing a stroller with a 4-month-old. People staring at you you're you're a boomer.
Like, it's not move-in weekend.
Yeah. I saw some other parents there, and it was like they were there for their kids,
You're like,
back with a newborn.
you relate more to the parents with college kids than the college kids. That's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you know you're getting old.
Yeah, so we felt pretty
The
old.
college kids were standing there.
I know it was a good time.
You veered right to talk to the parents about the traffic on the way out. Like, oh man,
That's right. That's right.
How are we going to beat this rush on 81?
Yeah, yeah.
Tuition just keeps going up. How can they live with themselves?
Tuition just. I don't even know if I want my son to go here anymore.
Yeah, I heard this place has the best food in the country.
Not buying it.
Um,
Yeah, that is another thing. It's a lot different buying the campus food when it's your money and not mom and dad's.
I tried to get my son to join the Corps Cadets, but mom said no. Now I got to pay his tuition. They're like, your son's 4 months old, guy. Can kids with Coloboma join the service?
Yeah,
you think he'll be able to dodge the draft because he's got Coloboma?
I think so. Well, let's ask military dad.
Yeah. How many Coloboma guys do you
find out?
We've got a whole troop of Colobomas.
Do they have military grade rec specs?
I'm sure they've got to.
No, but it was a good time. We were a little stressed going into the weekend, spending time with both families, but it was a success. We had a good time. Everybody got to spend time with JA. He was a trooper. He had a good time tailgating. Was throwing back 2%.
Tilt on back.
But yeah, that was that. We got to stay with some friends. We stayed with T Squared, former guest of the pod, girl dad Taylor,
girl dad boy dad.
I don't know if you remember, Christian, but he told us about the slumber pod. Do you remember this?
Yeah, did you see it?
Excited about it. It's the blackout tent that goes over the bassinet or the crib.
I was really pumped about it, and then I thought, how in the world will the monitor work?
Well, you're in luck because I got some hands-on experience this weekend with it. We tried it. We were able to use theirs with JA, and I think we'll be getting it for Christmas. Lady G loved it. Let me tell you the biggest perk about it is that you see this room I'm in right now, obviously, all the lights on. Mm-hmm. If he was in here, had that thing on there, it's a pitch black room for him. So he can sleep. We can, get ready, put stuff away, get ready for bed, whatever we got to do. It's pitch dark in his little cocoon. And you asked about the camera. There's a little clear, I don't know, bag or clear holder thing at the very top of the tent. You put the camera in there, and then you're just bird's eye view watching.
Oh, that's all right. I'm back. I'm so back. Why wait till Christmas?
Pretty awesome. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe yeah. Birthday's coming up. So yeah, the slumber pod is as good as it sounds.
Wow, slumber pod. I was really worried about the camera.
Especially
I'm really back now.
Yeah, the camera was cool. We have never had that angle, so it was a little close to his face, but it was good. You could see his eyes.
Kind of sounds like Aaron Rodgers' getaway for him. Lock himself in darkness retreat for JA.
Yeah, he woke up the next morning and said, "You think darkness is your ally?
I was born in the dark.
I was born in the darkness, raised by it." So the slumber pod, 10 out of 10. And the last thing, Laugh Watch is back.
Laugh Watch.
Dun dun dun.
So?
And there is no update.
We are waiting on pins and needles.
Yeah, no laughs. We thought we were close a couple times, but
have you considered that you're not funny?
I have. Yep.
Have you brought in a funny guy? I'd come down there.
We actually threw on some Jim Gaffigan this weekend, and he just didn't bite at all.
Nice. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I believe in you, and The one thing I've known that makes JJ laugh almost every time is throwing a fluffy ball at his face. It really makes him laugh.
Oh, I throw stuff at him all the time. We can't see it, so it doesn't matter.
Poor guy. That Coloboma troops.
Popcorn at him.
That Coloboma troops can be good for him.
I drop his little tummy time pillow on him.
How'd that get there? We had a good week, Josh. We had a really good week in regards to sleep for JJ, which means you know that this coming week is going to be terrible. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. Let's knock on wood now.
Yeah, it was like too good to be true. Yeah, so thankful for it for sure, but also trying not to get used to it. Went on my first runs. Doctor said he can go running. We went on 3 runs this week.
Wow.
So basically, if he wakes up before 6:30, we go on a run together with the dog, and he enjoys that. Well, he's calm. I don't know if he enjoys it. And then what else? We went on our first date night without him.
Ew.
Yeah, we went and played pickleball. Had a good time. Have you kids heard of it? Heard of this game out there? It's a new
pickleball. Tell me about it.
Are pickles involved?
Is that what It's tennis, but mixed with ping pong.
Yep.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it was really fun, and that was Lady A's first time. She really enjoyed it, so hoping to do that more and more. But yeah, just really thankful to have date night. I was first time leaving him with a baby. Like we've left him with family before. That was the first time with a babysitter, and what a good gig. You don't even ever touch the baby. She came over, he was already asleep, and left, and he was still asleep. It's just a good job.
Yeah. That is the nice part about the early bedtime schedule is it's like we don't need you to do much. Just give him the pacifier if he cries.
You get paid to watch TV or read a book.
Yep.
No, but she's great. She's so sweet. She goes to our church, so thankful for her. Yeah, and then one thing that happened this week. It's kind of a parenting you saw this week, but I wanted to mention it here. Is my friend's kid asked for me? You know, like when you're holding the kid like reaches its arms out towards you. That means they want to come to you. Mm-hmm. My friend's kid did that to me, and I was like, man, when JJ does that, like I felt when that kid did it, I was like, I'm on top of the world. It's not even my kid. When my kid asks for me, it's gonna be awesome. I kind of felt bad for him. It's like your kid. Sorry, man. Like wanted to come to me, but anyway.
Yeah, that's tough. I had something similar actually. Was it like we said, girl dad Taylor's house, and well, it was actually this morning. It was in using the facilities, and I heard girl dad Taylor head out to work, and then I heard girl dad Taylor saying, "Mom, Dad," and then I heard her get closer to the bathroom door. She said, "Mom, Dad," and I said, hoping that she would recognize my voice, I said, "I'm in here."
Oh no!
And
oh no!
She just opened the door and stared at me, and I said, "I think Dad went to work." And then she shut the door.
That did not go as planned.
So just about as good as what you're talking about.
All right, Josh. Well, I think without further ado, let's get into let's get John on here.
Let's get military dad in here. Is that what we're calling him?
I just texted him, join us. Army Dad. That's what I was thinking. Welcome, my good friend John, Army Dad John. We're glad to have you here, man.
Glad to be here.
We are, for your awareness, we're watching Monday Night Football, Dolphins, Rams. We did drinks already. I'm having an IPA. Josh is having some Happy Dad seltzer, whatever that is. What are you drinking?
Happy Dad. So I haven't heard of that one. I'm drinking elderberry lemon tea.
All right.
Non-alcoholic. I threw away all my alcohol. We're moving in like 3 days. So
it was a solid Dr. Rick there.
Elderberry tea. Yeah, I mean, we're moving, therefore we have to throw away our alcohol. Everyone knows that. Everyone.
Well, I had this like
it's very classic.
This like knockoff twisted tea that I should have saved, but it's really bad. So Liv's been making tea every night because it's good for the immune system and stress response, right? She's laughing, so probably not. Anyways, I like it.
People will make fun of, I always hear this feedback that we have the worst drinks ever. And I always think if they only knew what John drank. John drinks the worst drinks. For my bachelor party, he bought every wrong thing he could have purchased. This is
aristocrat, baby.
Yeah, so John's drinks are always fun. John, for everyone out there, I have a little bio written for you, my friend. John is one of my best friends. We met in the 4th grade. I hated him and he hated me, and then we became best friends. He is actually Dr. Dom's brother. Some would call him also a doctor. He would not, because it's not a terminal degree. And
what is a terminal degree?
That's great. Terminal degree is like a PhD or a doctorate of science.
You take it to the grave.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you can, like that could be your final degree. I like that.
Not at all. You can't go any higher in that field of study.
For my degree, it's the entry level education required. But you can still go and get a PhD or a terminal level degree.
John got married during COVID. He actually had a courthouse wedding. Beautiful ceremony I was able to zoom into in San Antonio. There was a homeless guy who cussed them out during the ceremony, which was lovely.
It was beautiful.
He has I don't know if she's 1.5. I don't know. Is that what you'd call her?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, 1.5-year-old daughter named Addie.
I prefer months. We do months.
18 months.
19 months.
19 months. His wife is Liv. He is a PT in the Army. That's physical therapist for those out there. And he once struck out 17 people in one game because he had a nose fungus that distracted them from seeing the ball.
Can confirm.
Wow. It's a 7-inning game, so 17 people. That means only 4 people he didn't strike out. Pretty impressive.
It was JV.
JV.
The JV.
Yeah, that nose fungus was amazing. It looked like Rudolph out there. Pitched the game of his life. Anything you'd like to add, John, about yourself?
I got the nose fungus from actually acne medication that was supposed to help my skin, but just made it so much worse. And I just happened to put it on the tip of my nose.
I really did you have anything to add about your whole life?
Anything else about the nose fungus?
No.
Did it spread anywhere else throughout the game?
Funny enough.
Oh man, you hit everything pretty well.
Remember, I actually posted a picture of your fungus medicine on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did. Oh.
What a great friend.
Full name, social address, all on medication.
They put social securities on your medicine now.
All of Twitter to see.
Well, John, first things first, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for tax dollars.
John, what do you like for civilians to say in regards to your service?
Oh, that's fine. I think whatever they say is appropriate if they're in good faith. But usually I only hear thank you for your service. What's
the worst thing you've heard? Anybody said anything terrible?
No, I haven't had any of those. But I'm sure they've happened. I've always lived in the South for the most part. So usually people are pretty amenable to the military, but there are certain locations that I have buddies in that they aren't as well received. So I could ask them.
I don't know if y'all heard his response is always, thank you for your tax dollars. I think that's always fun.
Yeah.
John, y'all end up going to the zoo this weekend, or did y'all do the beach?
Neither.
Awesome. 4 days off.
Yeah. We Addie and I did go to look at some tools today. I've been entering this like phase of life where I go down rabbit holes of potential hobbies. Last month it was hunting. It was about 4 hours, and then today, which I think I'm going to stick. I think I'm going to stick with this. I hope I do. Is woodworking. So we went to Tractor Supply, which not great for tools, and then Ace Hardware.
It's a good start.
We had a great time though. Yeah, Addie was saying hello to everyone in the store. Yeah, Liv said we got donuts. We got a donut. Yep.
Thank you, Liv.
Yeah, Addie does. Yeah, thank you, Liv. She can't even hear.
Make sure you let them know we got donuts. All right, John. One thing we're gonna, I think, talk about a lot in this interview is a part of serving our country is you are away from your family. And I think that's the sacrifice that a lot of people make when they, agree to join the service. And so we're just trying to. I think a lot of this is understanding how that affects the family and the structure there. And so I think to start off, at what times of Addie's life have you had to be away?
Have I had to be away or chose to be away? I think it's kind of a combination. If you're willing to hear both.
Yeah.
Uh, Certainly, the times I've really had to be away where there were a few training events throughout the past year where I pretty much have to travel and go, but those don't last more than like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So pretty much once every couple of months, I've got one of those kind of trainings. As for deployment, it wasn't necessarily one of those things that I had to do, but it is kind of one of those unspoken requirements.
Mm-hmm.
So I did choose to do it. But had I not chosen to do it, I probably would have had more repercussions than, within like career progression and whatnot. So I definitely have some agency within my current job to be able to pick and choose trainings and traveling away from the family. However, it has been pretty often within the past year and a half, most of Addie's life, that I had to go to certain trainings and I had to go, go away from the house for a little bit. But I'm hoping that within the next year, we'll have a little bit better control and idea of how much I actually need to go to certain trainings, and then I can prioritize leaving the house less.
John, did you intentionally plan your trainings to be away at the hardest times of Addie's life? Sorry, babe. Army is taking me away.
That's a great
I've
question.
had no choice. I know it's a 3-month sleep regression. I know we knew this was coming, but it's just how it goes,
Dude,
babe.
I was gone right in the smack dab of her like 4-month sleep regression. And it was unfortunate because she started like 2 weeks early, and that was immediately after I left for a training program. But there was nothing I could do. Let's see, what else? I missed Liv's helping out.
Yeah, Liv is in the background. She's telling you, you missed this and this and this.
Yeah, that was the big one. I think I was gone for about a 10-week span when she turned 5 months old after that. So that was pretty tough too. Really, a lot of the earlier phases, I missed some of the things that you're going through right now, Christian and Josh. You'll go through pretty soon, which are some tough months. And I don't know how Liv did it alone, but she did.
Pretty sure Josh is his the 4-month sleep regression came at month 3 and it's going to last till month 7 or something. He's having a tough go right now.
Yeah, oh, poor guy.
Hoping my number gets called here to
go,
I don't know,
get deployed.
Maybe work sends me to go overseas for a little bit.
He's just hoping for a draft. Please draft me.
John, you said you were gone for 10 weeks at 5 months for Addie, and then again more recently. How has your like philosophy or view of parenting changed with both of those from like pre-deployment to coming back? Was there any big changes for you from like a perspective?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think it was a natural change in perspective as well, just from being like a super like brand new dad to, I definitely wouldn't say that I'm a seasoned dad. She's only 19 months old. But there's been a lot of learning within the past year specifically. During those 10 weeks, it was kind of like I went back to life like it was kind of even before, just Liv and I were together, because I was separate from her. I was separate from Addie. And really the only thing I had to worry about was myself I was at a training, so making sure I did well at the training. And so I think the first change of perspective was knowing that just because they're not within like near proximity doesn't mean that I don't still have those responsibilities as a parent. So that was certainly tough to learn how to do that long distance, especially with the little one. And then more recently with the deployment, that was a little bit different. Liv and I had gotten to a much better rhythm on what it looks like with me being gone, and she also knew that I'd wanted to do this for a super long time, so she was really supportive. Uh, with I mean, obviously there's a time difference, the training schedule out there, and just kind of the stressors that were involved with all that. But I think to answer your question, one of the biggest things that I've learned over the past year is truly prioritizing the marriage, and Liv and I have had to really work on that. Um,
Mm.
we'll learn new things that Addie brings us when they happen. It just happens with normal development, but one of the staples is making sure that we prioritize the marriage, which can be super difficult with long distance. But we did it for 2 years. Who's to say we can't continue to do it now?
Yeah. Just kind of going off of that, what do you feel like being a responsible or being a good husband or father looks like when you're away? Like, how have you seen, what are the good things that you've either seen from others? Like, do you have mentors, or just that you guys experience that have been like, this is a huge thing that we have to do, this is a success for us?
I think it depends on your spouse and how often they like to communicate. I think with Addie, she likes talking on the phone like once, twice a day. It's probably good for her. She doesn't really need to talk any more than that. But figuring out what works best with Liv was more important. So I had peers out there that talk to their family every 3 days, once every 4 days, something like that. Just kind of depended upon the rhythm of life they were in. But for us, I was able to chat once a day, and that was usually pretty good. And we tried to reserve a little bit extra time on the weekend just to kind of catch up and talk a little bit more. The other thing I couldn't do that was difficult was I couldn't really talk about the things I was doing over there. Some of them were sensitive, so that certainly made things difficult to have those conversations that I'd otherwise like to have with my wife, but you can't do that over the phone. So being being able to work through that was difficult. Hopefully that answered the question, though.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, the military is obviously such a unique career field compared to pretty much anything else. I think like one thing that's a huge priority in like every other field is, the idea of work-life balance. When it comes to like military, a lot of times that's not even really, an option. And so I think it's interesting, like, what does that look like when you're away? So I think, what you talked about there as far as finding time for those conversations and communicating to see what works best.
Yeah, I think that when you're away, you can get into a rhythm. It gets difficult though when the rhythm is disrupted, but you come back home every night. That's been probably the biggest growing pain, because I'll get up early so I can go work out, and then I got a busy day, and the last thing, like I usually come home with not particularly too much energy. So that has been one of the things that I have to like put mental effort in to be like, no, I'm not going to just lounge out tonight. I need to be present with my kid. I need to be present with my wife, which is much easier said than done, because I definitely fall into the trap of wanting to fall asleep at 7:30 every night, or we turn on a TV show and I'll fall asleep. Like I fell asleep during Harry Potter the other day, and it was 8:30. In my defense, though, it was the Chamber of Secrets, which is not the best. Once you get into 3 and 4, it's a little bit harder to snooze, but we won't talk about that.
That was like 5 Dr. Ricks in one answer. Just dreaming of 7:30 bedtimes.
Dude, it's real.
And falling asleep in a movie. That's as good as that's as bad as it gets right there.
Mm-hmm.
John, how has being away changed as he's gotten older? I imagine early on, she has no clue you're gone. I mean, the kids kind of, as people come and go, it's not a big deal. But, now that she can talk and interact and more, like, was this harder for her? Was she more aware of your presence being gone?
I think so. She definitely asked for me a lot more. Well, now she can ask for me.
Yeah.
So every morning, Liv would go wake her up, and she'd be like, "Dada, Dada."
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, which is pretty cute. But she will do that now if Liv goes in to wake her up, and she'll say, "Mama," if I go wake her up. So it's just one of the. I don't know if that's kind of like a Addieism or
never be content.
Yeah, Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, she definitely got a little tired of the phone towards the end of being gone.
Mm.
Um, Liv says she asks about me quite a bit, which is hard, and I think it's only going to get more difficult. I had a lot of friends out there who have 3-year-olds to 5-year-olds, and sometimes their kids don't even want to talk to them because they miss them so much. So it's pretty tough.
Mm.
So I'm not looking forward to that.
Like they're angry at them or something?
Yeah, they're like angry at them, but they don't really know how to control their emotions because
Oh.
it's not like they're leaving them purposefully. But it's also, they're young, so they haven't been able to learn how to control those emotions yet.
Does she take a while to warm up to you when you get back, or is it like nothing's passed, nothing's changed?
This time around it was kind of like nothing's changed because I woke her up. I got back too late, so I didn't like go in her room and wake her up. So when she woke up the next morning, I was there, so it was kind of like nothing happened. I think though when I came back last year, she was a lot younger, but she took a little while to warm up to me. I think she was about 8 or 9 months old at that time. Super variable. Every time Liv leaves her though, she's pretty mad.
Yeah,
She
that's
does
just a
not. She does not.
different
She does
role.
not forgive her. Yeah, it takes like 2 to 3 days before she's forgiven her.
Wow.
Have you had any like big swing and misses coming back? Like, when it was the 10 weeks, or even recently, like coming back of you try to do something you were doing when you left, and it's like she's like, we don't do that anymore, or something that Liv's been like, no, John, like that's not what we do. We're totally different now.
She doesn't watch Bluey anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I don't even remember. This time around, no. But like after the 10 weeks, yeah, a lot had changed. I mean, she went from drinking formula to being, for the most part, Whole Foods. So that was a big change for me.
Shopping
So
at Whole
figuring out,
Wow.
Whole Foods, yeah. So I think figuring out how to like, you know, make her food was definitely a new thing for me. But that was like last year. This time around, not so much. I don't think. I mean, that was one of the things that I definitely didn't do super well early on. Was just be attentive and open to learning about the changes of her young life, like Liv was. So that's definitely one of the things that I had to prioritize when we moved down to Georgia in January, and so now I have a lot better of a handle on like what to expect, and you kind of go from that. Like I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but you're at the supermarket and lady's like, "Oh, you're babysitting today," but it's your kid, you know. It's like, no, I'm being a dad, but you kind of go from that, yeah, yep, mom's busy, to no, this is my kid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think for me, I really needed to have a couple kicks in the butt before I could make that mental switch. But um,
Do you think that we've talked about it before? I think even just like early on, and even recently for me, with Lady G being like at home and obviously breastfeeding, like they get so much more time with the kids early on, and it's really easy to feel like you can check out and like let them do things because they do it every day. They know how to do it better than you. Um, and we've talked about how in the past it's like we can see how dads become very passive just early on, and that just kind of continues to build. Do you feel like being in the military, being away at times, that there's a greater temptation to be passive? And do you see that?
oh yeah, I mean, I can't speak for everyone in the military, but definitely me personally, yeah, that's one of the things that I certainly struggle with. Like I said, I have a busy day. It takes more mental effort to be present when I get back home, and that's hard after some days. Uh, so I think being able to like resort back to like, oh, they've been hanging out all day, they know what they're doing, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna do my own thing, is kind of a cop out. I mean, sometimes I can even like hide behind the work that I have to do. But even if I take work home and have more work to do, it's that sometimes is still like a cop out for being present. I think there are so many different temptations that I can have to avoid doing the active parenting, and you can hide it under the guise of the job, of the calling, if you will.
Mhm.
But I think more importantly is taking a step back and learning how to prioritize, which has certainly been one of the things that I've had to learn more recently with this busier and tougher job.
Thanks for sharing that, John.
I think you guys. I mean, is that something that you guys think that you deal with now? And you're asking the question, so obviously it sounds like it's something that's on your mind, but it's probably better to be asking the question than not.
Yeah, I think. Well, you go ahead, Christian.
I would say I haven't really been feeling that until I just kind of probably felt it this week. I'm like, he's starting to more and more like us for different things. And I think my first instinct is to say, like, I can do that thing too. And so, yeah, that's a little frustrating. But I think more than anything, it's probably just like, hey, we're not like against each other. Like, we are partners. And so I can be funny guy and mom can be comforter. You're like, I don't, and I'll still try to comfort. And it doesn't mean I'm going to throw my hands up. But I think more and more I'm starting to realize he likes us kind of for different things right now. He knows what mom can provide and what I provide usually. So yeah, he's not really cuddly with me like he is mom. But anyway, I don't know if I've had the temptation to like give up, but it is frustrating. You're like, well, come on, like I'm trying over here.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably been like the biggest challenge for us is. Uh, I've been like really hard on myself and I've struggled doing things early, and because of that, and because I know that Lady G can do those things and will do it quicker, he'll enjoy it more. Um, I definitely know I can like tell myself she's got it, like let her do it. And and if you asked her, she would say she's not the best at asking for help. Uh, and so a lot of times it almost feels like we're trying to read each other's minds of like, she's hoping I'm going to say, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, she's thinking, I got this. I'll do it again. So yeah, I think it's a challenge. And what you're saying as far as, come home from work, long day, being tired, it's really easy to just say hi, good night, sit down on the couch, watch something, eat food, versus like really pouring into that time with both like baby and mom, wife, because they've had a long day too. Like I think that's, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it too, but like just you really see like it. Like they always say the cliche, it's a full time job, and especially for us when I am working, like, and honestly when I'm not, is she handles a lot more of like the nighttime. He's waking up, stuff like that, and so it really is just like around the clock. But it's easy for me to justify it and say like, well, I'm working, I've got to go to work and you don't. So this is our trade-off. But I think we've had times where that's kind of felt like unhealthy in like a mental space for both of us.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think when I was Jay, is he 3 months now?
Yeah, 3 months, 2 days ago.
Nice. Happy birthday, I guess. Month day, whatever you call it.
It's not his birthday.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude, I remember at that time, like I was so focused on like the selection program I had to go to that I was, yeah, I pretty much use that excuse quite a bit. So I could help out. I could definitely help out when like it made the easiest sense, but like selfishly,
Yeah.
I could definitely go rest on the fact that I had to train up for this or do this. I mean, I think parenting has taught me more than anything else of like how selfish I can be, and it really is kind of a kick in the nuts when your daughter and your wife are both not particularly happy with you because you're being selfish. So being able to go through that and then learn that, it's not all about me, has been super eye opening and honestly really, really great as well. Learning how to reprioritize and figure out how to best love them before loving myself.
Mm.
I think it's tough too. I mean, like if you are the breadwinner, if you're making the money for the family, then I certainly think that plays a super big role. The other thing too is if the job you're doing that you feel it is like where you're supposed to be, then you shouldn't be half-assing it. You should be doing it with your best foot forward. So some days you are going to come home exhausted, and I think that is okay, but it just can't be every day because a lot of the days where I was coming home exhausted, like yeah, maybe I gave it my all at work, but I also worked out twice in the morning, and I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning so I could do it. Like things that I didn't necessarily need to do for the betterment of the job, but it was really for like the betterment of me because I wanted to do this, right? So that's like still a hard lesson for me because I definitely have an addictive personality. Like I catch on to an idea and I want to stick with it for a little bit until it gets boring to me.
Except for
But
hunting.
except for hunting, yeah, that was only 4 hours, but maybe it'll come back one day. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, learning that has been helpful for prioritization.
Yeah, I just like imagine coming back from being away or like deployed that it would be so easy to come back and be like, let me get back to like my life and like things I want to do I haven't been able to do and like my routine that's been totally different versus like she's been alone with the baby for months. Like she's equally wanting something from you coming back as you are coming back to your life. I think I know for myself, it would be easy to be like, sweet, like I can get back to my regular schedule. I can do my hobby. I can go golfing. I can go to the gym, see friends, whatever. But it's like coming back to another big sacrifice, right? It's like both of those, I imagine for you are just big sacrifice all the time of having to put yourself aside.
Yeah, I mean, I would call it a sacrifice. But yeah, like you definitely can't be self-serving. But I mean, I also I love my job, and you
Mm.
guys always ask like, did you see the fellas? Like, I see the fellas every day when I'm at work because it's only fellas. So like
Whoa!
we have a
Breaking news: they don't have any ladies in the army.
Yikes.
Yikes! When did that policy get enacted?
No, there are women in the army.
You just call them fellas.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we're going to do segments. If you had any segments at the end, Christian, I think this is a good time to jump to.
Yeah, I think he kind of was alluding to this. Yeah.
Is John? You know, for Dad's Ears Only.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get into it here, ladies. Go ahead and take a nice stroll. Put the baby in a stroller. Go for a walk. Maybe
Mm.
turn on a nice tap.
Put on that true crime podcast.
Yep, and we'll let
Some Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
we'll give you
definitely.
We'll give you a hootie hoo when to come back.
Okay, dads.
Open
and I'm
up
talking
that
to
Kindle.
I'm talking to the military dads. We're here with John. And John, is it actually kind of nice being away?
Oh man, I can't answer that.
That is an answer.
Well, it's just us.
No. No, dude, it's miserable. It's the worst.
Another way to ask it is, what are y'all up to? It's like, yeah. What are the activities like?
Give us a day in the life.
Maybe not your job, but in the evening. What's the evenings look like?
What's the free time
with the fellas?
Usually working out together, eating, and then prepping for whatever you got to do. It's usually about it.
No.
Sometimes you have more time to do that than others.
No.
Like
we know what you do. Call of Duty.
No, I didn't do Call of Duty.
Madden, NCAA.
No Call of Duty. Nope, didn't have any of that. No, a lot of working out, and a lot of eating. That's about it.
You said these dudes were house and candy and playing Madden over there.
You asked me what I did.
Oh no! What do the fellas do? What what are y'all up to?
I think it depends on what you got to do. Like during your downtime, yeah. Some guys will play video games. Other dudes will like watch movies, watch YouTube videos. That's where I got into hunting. We were watching hunting videos. That was pretty fun.
You did not get into hunting. You've never gone hunting.
4 hours.
You thought about hunting.
To wrap up
vulnerable.
the answer to the for dads, the answer is, it sounds like a no comment.
Yeah, sounds like a good no comment.
Yeah.
All right, hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo, welcome back.
What do you
Welcome
do?
And,
Welcome back,
and it
ladies.
sucks.
Yeah,
It sucks being away. There's no time to work out.
yeah, it's the worst. You're just yearning for your family the entire time.
Yeah.
Urinating?
Yeah, yearning.
I don't think that's the word. Urinating.
Yeah.
Not urinating.
No, yearning, like a longing.
Yeah, you're adding a syllable.
All right.
Urinating.
All right, here's some kind of quick hitters at the end. Does Addie think that you're a superhero when you tell her that you jump out of planes for a living?
I don't think she thinks I'm a superhero. But when I was gone, every time she saw a plane, she would say, Dada?
Oh,
Point
she
to it.
knows.
So that was pretty cute. I don't think she knows. I don't think she understands the concept of a superhero.
I don't know if this is like, this might be, maybe it's not a heavy hitter, but like what would you say is the biggest, like, I'm sad I missed that.
Oh, that's tough.
Like right now, for example, my son still has not laughed, and I know it's going to happen when I'm at work. It'll be very sad, but at least in that case, I can come home and hopefully hear it. Versus if you're, overseas or whatever, you're only hearing it on a phone.
I mean, like, you mean when she was like JA's age?
No, I mean any. It could be the most recent one. Could be anything.
I mean, yeah, I definitely miss a lot of that young phase. I mean, I think when she was super young, like 2 months old, she'd go to sleep. I would just hold her in my lap and play MLB The Show for hours at a time. Because it was either that or I just like sit over her, waiting for her to go to sleep in her bassinet, which she would never go to sleep. So I would just, certain nights just hold her there, and she would fall asleep at like 8 o'clock, and the next thing I know, it'd be 11:30. But she'd sleep great. So then we'd get her to sleep the rest of the night. I missed that. That was really fun. Well, the video game was fun, but it was also sweet.
Sounds like you just playing video games.
It was sweet holding her as well.
Gave her like no attention. Just playing. Made it to the big leagues.
No.
Pretty soon it was 11 o'clock. She wasn't even in my arms.
I would like whisper and tell her about the team, like who was on the team, who was up to bat. But she
loved that.
I'm sure she had.
And also like 2 months old.
Sweetie, these are the Bronx Bombers.
Yeah. Let's see.
They're not in the Bronx anymore.
I think like the first smiles, the first laugh, all of the little like first motor development milestones are always super amazing. Like I remember when she could sit on her own, when she was cruising, which is like holding on to stuff and then walking. Her first like little smile, we still have a picture of it, and her first little laugh. Oh, that was so cute. We have I kind of, some of that stuff is really neat to me, and I nerd out about the milestones. So we have videos of a lot of the big milestones. Like the other day, she jumped for the first time. Like actually got both feet like up off the ground.
Did you get a measurement?
Which not a great vert, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, it's like maybe half an inch right now.
So it sounds like you were there for most of those, for the first?
I think so. Yeah. For the most part. Cruising, I don't think I was there for cruising. I think I missed that one. But for her first steps, yes, I was there. She did that right when we moved into the new house here. And Liv and I were about 4 feet apart from each other, and I would just lift her up, and then she would walk to Liv, and then Liv would turn her around, and she'd walk back to me. Like that's so fun.
That's great.
That was great.
All right, John. What do you hope your child takes away from you serving our country? Do you have any thoughts like that? Like, does that cross your mind?
I think that I want her to be proud of what I do for my job. Um, not, not I guess because of not because that I am in the military, but rather because I love my job and I feel like this is the right place I'm supposed to be. So I hope that she is proud in spite of me being gone, because I don't particularly plan to like settle down in regards to the units I'll be a part of over the next 14 years until I get out. So it's going to be for most of her childhood where it's going to be like this. So if that, I mean, that certainly is a lofty goal right now, but certainly the probably the main thing that I'm thinking about, which I think takes a little bit more of an effort on me to make sure that she knows that she's loved and is my main priority with Liv. But you know, ask me in 3 years where she's at when she doesn't really want to, when she might be like the other kid, doesn't want to talk when I'm gone.
Well, I wanted to ask maybe off of that, go a little bit deeper. Like, I imagine for her in a couple years, she's a little bit older and comprehend a little bit more. It's easy to feel like your parent or whatever is picking their over you, like, or over them, I should say. Have you thought about like that conversation, and like what that looks like, what you would say?
Um, yeah, that's a great question. I think that the choices I'm trying to make right now, which I think there's a balance between like focusing only on your career, which at times it can be selfish, but it might be pragmatic for the long run. Like the decisions I'm making now will allow me to spend more time with my family over the next 14 years than if I don't make the certain decisions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that could be just based upon the unit that I'm working for. It could be based upon the specific job that I choose. Like I don't necessarily have to stay a physical therapist. There are definitely busier jobs that I could choose, but not necessarily things that I want to do. So
Yeah.
having one that in the background is like, hey, I made this decision. Yes, I know it's difficult in the short term, but this has allowed me to do this with you guys way more than it could have been had I not done this. I think that's one of the things. And then I don't know. I mean, when she gets older, she's going to have. I'd imagine she's going to have a really unique personality. And I think that we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there in regards to her needs and what that looks like for love from her parents, for both me and Liv.
Yeah. What would you say? I think this might be our last question. What would you want to say to other military dads, or maybe a future military dad? So maybe someone's in the military, about to have kids, anything like that. Whether it's an encouragement or something you learned, whether it was a fear that you had going into this that maybe now is something that you feel like is a good lesson learned.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably echoing what we've already talked about. It's super easy to be all about me, me, me. Uh, in the military, like yes, you are serving your country, but there's so many different things that like are just beneficial to you, and people are rooting for you individually. Um, so I mean, I don't really necessarily know how to say it in like an advice format, but I know if I were to tell my young self
Mm-hmm.
is like, don't worry so much about the accolades and trying to get like this squared away and this squared away with all these different things. It's gonna work out just fine. Um, just put your best foot forward, and then and know that the times that you're having with your kid, you're not going to get back, especially when they're super young. I
Mm-hmm.
think that is probably what I would have told myself 2 years ago.
Yeah. Last question for me, at least. Will my son be exempt from the draft list with Colaboma?
Colaboma?
Yeah,
What's that?
Keel wise.
his pupils look like keyholes. He's getting glasses soon. He's farsighted.
I don't know. I don't make that decision, but there's waivers for everything.
Mm.
We're recruiting. I'm gonna.
Is
I'm
there a
send him
Coloboma
a
troop?
recruiter.
Is there?
Yeah. Is there a team he could be a part of where he could be with
The
like-minded?
The Coloboma squad.
The Coloboma crew.
Coloboma crew?
Coloboma crew. There it is. I'm sure there is somewhere. I don't know. I don't make those decisions.
No, you are the
But
Army.
if it's I am the only recruiter.
John, this was really fun. And I know we focused on kind of the hardships here. I know your job is really cool and gives you a lot of opportunities to do really fun things with Addie. And like, she got to go watch you jump out of planes and things like that. So I know there's a lot of perks that maybe we didn't focus on. So I want to highlight that. But as we kind of wrap up, do you have any questions for us about the podcast or corrections or anything like that you wanted to state?
Oh man. Let's bring this back. Words of the week. What words you guys learning now?
No, we don't learn anymore. We just do. No vocab anymore.
Good.
No books are being read and no words.
There
anymore.
was.
That's funny. I think I ended up having to cut it from last week because of time. But Dr. Dom, your brother, actually asked us the same question, and
He knows a lot of big words.
our answer was just it's all the medical issues with my son that we learned. That's about it right now.
Colobama. Torticollis.
Do you have any segments? What are the Dr. Ricks in deployment?
It's a Dr. Rick's in deployment.
Dr. Rick's observation.
What's like a classic
strangers.
Dr. Rick?
I mean, it's probably pretty common. There's always a guy that makes like dad jokes. It's like not that funny, but like that's his go-to. Are the dad jokes. Okay, other segments. Trying to remember. Toy of the week. Oh, yes.
Yeah, hold on.
We got
toy of the week. Beep bop beep. Toy of the week.
this. Like I guess it's that Target brand, Hearth and Hand. They have like a wood coffee set that Addie just loves. It's like a big mug and then two small cups that she'll just like carry around on her tray, and she'll stick it right in your face, and she'll go, and then she'll go, and she'll drink some. And it's great. And then she'll get a spoon and like stir it up.
So she thinks her mom does when she drinks coffee.
Yep. Coffee. That's what she says.
How does she react to the caffeine?
Oh, loves it. No, I don't know.
While we're here, my toy of the week is you buy him all these toys. My son's favorite toy of the week was my sock. I just dangled it in his face, and he loved it. He grabbed it. I threw it at him, and he laughed. So save your money, folks. Just play with your socks.
Oh, that's great. I'm against leashing children.
Oh, we didn't ask
No.
that. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's record that real quick. Hold
I
on.
was ready for that one.
John, thanks for joining us. First things first, what is your stance on leashing children?
Anti.
Thank you. This recording can continue.
There we go.
Yeah, wow.
This message
Good
was
save.
approved by the United States Army.
Snip
Not
that.
endorsed.
Nope.
Definitely not endorsed. There are always kids at the PX that are leashed.
Oh,
all the
no.
time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yes.
That's what you call a passive father.
Right.
That's what you call it. I was going to say something bad. Sorry. I won't say it.
Say it. You're not gonna.
That's what
You're
you
not
call
gonna.
a prisoner of war.
Nice. Well done.
That was good. Oh, man.
Well, John, thank you for joining us, man. This was really fun. Hope you had a good time. And yeah, we appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, just learning a lot about what it's been like so far. And yeah, looking forward to staying abreast of everything that's going on with you guys.
Yep. Thanks for having me. That was fun.
Yeah, maybe we can talk to you next time on a deployment. Get a live update.
Probably not, but good idea.
Yeah. If we have connection issues from a couple hours apart, I'm assuming it's not going to get better.
All right.
John, thank you for your service.
Thanks for having me, guys.
See you, man.
All right. Thanks again to military dad John, not only for his service to this country, but service to the Other Dads podcast in episode 26.
Yeah, people start saying things for service to us because we serving the people.
Yes.
No.
No. Christian, let's get into segments here. We've got I've got a good amount here. I don't know about you. We already did your toy of the week.
Yeah, came in early.
The sock. Let's do mine. Toy of the week, beep bop beep. I don't know what this guy is called, but this is what we use in the car a lot of times. That was the turning on. This helps in the car seat. Calm down.
I never seen this. What is it?
It's got a couple different songs. This is my favorite one. So, yeah, it's got lights, noise, all the bells and whistles.
It calms him down. It seemed like it was a lot.
That was full volume.
Okay.
So we usually keep it a little lower. But yeah, he'll follow it and usually shuts him up pretty quick.
That's what you want for your kids.
That's right.
That's funny. I like that. That's a good toy. It doesn't beat the sock though.
No, I haven't broke out the sock yet. Oh, actually, I don't know if that's true. One time, we were trying to get him to just to follow us, turn his head, and I just started kind of running in place, and he was following my white socks.
There you go.
So maybe I've already had that.
Something about it.
Christian, you've got a parenting you saw this week. Let's go there.
What do I have?
Oh boy.
Oh, yes, I do. This was fun. We had our communion at church this week. And when communion week is going on, it means kind of a longer service. Anyway, we got out of there like when they started singing the last song, and we thought like, oh, this is gonna be good. We're gonna like get out early, and all the parents had the same idea. I think kids run on like a script where like they're used to church being X amount of minutes long, and the fact that it went over, like all of them were fussy, such as JJ. And so it ended up just being a powwow of parents outside. And we all so none of us got out of there early because we all just ended up chatting with other parents. I mean, it was like 5 couples that all walked out like around the same time. And it's like, oh, that's good to see you. And just kept coming out. Yep. The Irish goodbye, the parenting goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't mention it, but we had our first leave the service early, I think 2 weeks ago. I think it was about 5 minutes prior to the end. I had to take JA out, so had the walk of shame. Not as bad as it seems.
He was losing his mind.
He just building and building. It gets to a point where you're like, let's not be the distraction.
Yep, exactly. Let's let everyone else have a good time.
Yep.
I think
Christian, I've got 2 Dr. Ricks. You don't have any, right?
No, I do not.
Okay, let's go. I'll go do mine, and then we'll finish with For Dad's Ears Only.
Sounds good.
Like I said, I went back to college this weekend for a football game, and we were planning our time to come back. We came back today on Monday, and on the way up there, we were talking about which time. I said, hey, let's do our feeding at 1 and then leave after that. And then I said, I don't want to be driving home at night.
Oh, most people that say that kind of statement are not even just dads. Those are like 80-year-olds. That's a tough statement, man.
Which is funny because, I used to work nights. I used to like work nights and commute in the middle of the night. And I went to a concert with you, I think, I don't know, a year or two ago in DC, and drove home after the concert at 11:30, all the way down to the 757. It's about a 4-hour drive. So somehow I went from all that to like in the blink of having a kid to being like, I don't want to drive home at night. And not even like night. It was like daylight savings. Let's not be out there past 5:30.
Just the glare of the lights on the road just hits your eyes, and it's tough, man.
That was one I was not proud of. My second Dr. Rick is, you go back to college. It's been a couple years, and this is a repeat Dr. Rick, but it's just pointing and talking about everything you drive by. Oh, remember that? Remember that place? Remember that place we used to go to? Wow, that's changed. That building wasn't there.
Oh, wow, yeah. Souvlaki's
still
the same.
That's where mom and dad met.
Yep. That's a little better than I think. Just, yep, they've got a quality in.
Yeah, that's fair. It is a little better than that. But it is great. Like a good, was that there last time? I don't remember that being there.
I love telling Angela about all these places I lived in Blacksburg that she's totally heard me say 100 times and just listens to it over and over.
Yep.
Yep, I know. You lived there your sophomore year. That's good. Let's get into for Dad's Years Only.
Let's do it.
We kind of did one earlier with John. Got a no comment with him, but we're going to give you a little details here. So, ladies, turn back on the Gilmore Girls, as John said.
Yep.
And we'll give you a hootie hoo when we're ready.
Grab that pumpkin spice. Turn on those holiday tunes.
I think it's peppermint mocha time, actually.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Cozy up next to the fire. Josh, my Josh, my for Dad's Years Only is that my wife has informed me that she hates Red Zone.
Ooh.
NFL Red Zone is the greatest thing ever made. It is commercial-free football for, 8 hours?
Yep.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, especially if your team's not on. You can still...
Or your team sucks.
Like mine does. You just get to watch it. Basically, it's like if you play fantasy football, it's a dream. It's the best thing ever made. You always say, I'll do that after this commercial, but there's no commercial. Or after this play, I'll go take out the trash. Well, guess what? 10 plays later, you've seen 10 touchdowns. The trash has still not been taken out. It's amazing. And she said, if I'm watching with you, could we watch a game? I pretty much was just quiet. And to let y'all know, I'm going to keep watching Red Zone because I can't do it. I can't go back. I'm addicted.
This is where you have to draw the line.
Yep. I just, hey, maybe we don't watch football together.
I know it's her dad. It's only, I think it might be like kudos to Lady A. She might be a real football guy.
Yeah, she loves to watch one.
She wants to see every play. She wants to get, in the nitty gritty. She wants to feel the rhythm.
I hear her point. It is kind of disorienting. As soon as you get locked into a game, here's another touchdown from another game and a fumble. So it is disorienting. That's kind of her main point. And it's like hard to focus when it's on. But
has she said, because Lady G would say this, has she said it's overstimulating?
Yeah.
That's the go-to.
Yep. But that's why I love it. I want to be stimulated.
Yep.
What about you, Josh?
Can't be stimulated enough. My for Dad's Years Only is when you have a baby, driving becomes a totally different experience. You are no longer trusted to handle an automotive vehicle. I don't know the last time I hit the brakes before Lady G said slow down, or car, or brakes. Mom really becomes backseat driver when there's precious cargo on board.
Wow, I haven't experienced that. That's an interesting. I guess it makes sense. They're just protective of what's back there.
Oh yeah,
it's like an instinct.
I was always told, you're a great driver, trust you. Not anymore. Everything goes out the window. All the years of hard work, safely getting to wherever we're going, to a date night, all that goes out the window as soon as there's a baby on board.
You hit one fire hydrant, all of a sudden you're not to be trusted.
Okay, well, that's not part of it.
That is kind of funny that you mentioned it the week that you hit a fire hydrant.
Hey, it didn't identify itself. Okay, didn't raise a hand. What I've mainly been trying to do is, not let it get to me. Kind of like we're in the labor delivery room, just brush it off, brush these comments away, continue to drive, do my thing, stay in the zone. But it doesn't seem to be working, the calm and respectful approach. So I'm thinking about becoming a backseat breastfeeder.
I don't know if that's...
Hey, babe, why don't you squeeze a little bit more for him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, babe,
it might not be good, man.
You're not sitting back enough.
I don't know if he's latched. That's a key to get someone irritated.
Yep, it doesn't look like he's latched. I think he needs to burp.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Maybe that, like it's before every time. It's like it'd be the opposite of. It'd be the same as braking.
Yep.
As soon as he might need to hit burp, just call it out. Burp.
Burp incoming. That's good.
Yeah, so that's been tough.
All right, hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo, welcome back, ladies.
So excited to watch football, one game at a time.
Keep telling us how to drive.
And make sure you let us know how to drive. Well, Josh, this was fun. It's nice having John on. I really enjoyed it. And we've got a close one here. The Rams are not a first quarter team, but it might come down to the last week. Next week, we've got
2 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
Okay, we've got. Well, next week's the last game. The next week would be the punishment week, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
We've got 2 more weeks. 2 more games.
Okay.
Now, if I lose next week, then we may call it. We do want to clarify, listeners, that this is the end of season 1.
Yep, season 2 will be back after the holidays. Well, next week we'll have a friend on who is an expecting father, and so we want to advise him, as we are the experts on expecting, and we've learned so much, and so we also want to prepare him for what is to come.
Yes.
So tune in next week for Ryan, and with that, Josh, we're gonna. Oh wait, we're missing a segment.
You're continuing to miss it,
Josh.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Josh, did you see the fellas this week?
No. Christian, did you see the fellas this week?
No.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for episode 26. Follow us on socials. Email us at theotherdadspod@gmail.com. And tune in next week for episode 27 with an expecting dad.
Some dads serve their country, and some dads serve in pickleball. No dad is perfect.
Thanks for being the other dads. Peace.
Finger outs.
Game 26 of TOD Pick'em goes to me as the Miami Dolphins defeat the Los Angeles Rams 23-15. That's 2 in a row for me, and Christian is now up 2 in the series with 2 to play. A punishment is on the line.